Our Wendy's Female Athlete of the Week for this week, she is an all-state pick, an all-city pick in girls basketball here in Topeka and across Kansas, and she is off to another great start to this season. Topeka High junior basketball player NiJaree Canady. And NiJaree, let's start with this season. And for folks who know high school basketball in Topeka, they know your name quite well at this point, and you're off to another great start to the 2020-2021 season. What's been going so well for you in your mind to start off this season?
I definitely think me and my team, we have a lot, especially since last season, we have a lot riding on this season. Being so close to a state championship last season, we're definitely more motivated to finish what we started.
Obviously, if we're talking Topeka High basketball, we want to focus on the future, but we've got to go back to the past as well and talk about what happened at the end of last season. COVID-19 unfortunately canceling the state tournament while your team was in the middle of an undefeated run, and now you've won 27 in a row, and unfortunately no state title in the mix there. What was it like for you and for the rest of your team when you found out the season was over, and to kind of look back and say, wow, I can't believe we won that many games and didn't get a chance to play for state?
Yeah, we were just shocked. We obviously knew COVID was a big deal, but at that point, we thought the worst thing that was going to happen was we just won't have fans in the crowd. We had no idea our season was gonna get canceled. We had seniors on our team who played their last game without knowing it was their last game. So we went home, and I remember I was in my room when our coach told us it's canceled. We're not even a reschedule. It's just gone, just like that.
You mentioned this as well with our first question, and I'm curious, over the offseason, after that year ended, knowing you had 2 more years this year and 1 more at Topeka High, what was kind of your mindset about getting back to the state tournament and putting together another strong season? What's kind of been your thought process as this year's gone on and your team looks to continue the success that you've built the last 2 years?
So we're definitely more motivated now, but my heart just went out to the seniors. We still had 2 more years, but these seniors went off and they didn't have another shot, and that's seniors all across Kansas. So it wasn't so much for myself, but my other teammates.
We're talking to NiJaree Canady. She is a basketball standout at Topeka High in her junior season, and she is our Wendy's Female Athlete of the Week this week. Well, let's get back to this season then, NiJaree, and you've put together a couple of really strong games, 20+ in each of the last 2 contests for Topeka High, including a win over Hayden earlier this week. For your game specifically, what were some of the goals you set out to accomplish for you? Was it scoring numbers? Was it improving in other facets of the game? What have been some of the things you've been focusing on in particular this season?
So yeah, one thing I've been personally working on is my free throws, but anything I can do to help get my team a win is what we want to do. Like you said, we want to continue our winning streak. So
your team is obviously very adept at scoring, but you guys play really good defense as well. And so many times defense is such an effort-based thing more than even a skill-based thing. How has your team kind of developed that? Talking to your head coach, Hannah Alexander, talking about we want to get the press down. We want to put pressure on them defensively. What has kind of helped your team bond together to always have that high energy on both ends of the floor, especially on defense?
Yes, well, it definitely starts in practice. We do a lot of defensive drills, taking charges and stuff. So it definitely starts there. But I feel my team, we have such high intensity, and everyone's no one has a problem with diving to get the ball. We're all so intense, especially on defense. I feel that's one of the things we're known for, that in our press. So
we're talking to NiJaree Canady from Topeka High basketball, our Wendy's Female Athlete of the Week. You now are in the upperclassmen group. You're now in the second half of your Topeka High career at your junior season, so you've still got a long way to go this year and next. But what has it kind of been like for you to now be one of the older players on the team, to take on more of a veteran leadership role? Has that kind of come naturally to you?
Definitely not as much. Especially my freshman year, I was more we had other leaders to step up because I was one of the younger ones. So I feel this season I had to step up into more of a leadership role, and kind of help out my coach more than I had to in previous seasons.
Have you enjoyed taking on that additional responsibility that comes with being a leader?
Yes, I have.
What about it is the most important part to you? Is it kind of helping teach some of the younger players? Is it just taking on that more responsibility? I think a lot of athletes view it differently. How would you view that responsibility for you personally?
So now especially have to make sure, like, one thing that I've struggled with is like staying positive more. And now I know like other people are looking towards me. So I have to make sure like I keep my composure good because I know other people are watching. And like I want to
Looking
be
ahead,
for the younger players.
looking ahead now, NiJaree, to the very end of the season, you've got still over a month and a half left of this, plus hopefully a state tournament, and then your senior year as well. What are some of the things for you and for Topeka High as a whole you're hoping to accomplish over the next portion of your Topeka High high school career?
We're definitely hoping to get a couple state championships, and then also that's basically it. Just getting a state championship and then winning our centennial, of course.
Well, it's been another fantastic start to her junior season for NiJaree Canady. A couple back-to-back 20-point performances, and she is our Wendy's Female Athlete of the Week, the junior standout from Topeka High. NiJaree, we really appreciate the time you're taking with us today. Thank you so much, and good luck with what's coming up the rest of this basketball season, and hopefully some positive news this time around come March.
Yes, thank you so much.